Hi everyone, and welcome to the Knit California podcast. My name is Leslie, I'm a knitter in Southern California, and this is episode 21 of my 2024 podcast series. Today is Saturday, June 29th, and I'm back with you for another podcast episode. Last week I did have two videos, but neither of them were podcast episodes. The first one was my summer knitting plans video, and the second one was an update and a refresh to my Make 9. So if you watched either of those, thank you so much, I appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance to go watch them, they're live, they're both really fun. I was just like itching to record those last week, and I'm so glad I was able to. And I didn't have too many project updates. I felt like if I did a podcast episode last week, it would have just been very bare bones. I pretty much spent all of last week working on the tank top that I'm currently wearing, which we will talk about in a few minutes. And so I felt like it was a really good time to take 1 week break from the podcast and film these other two videos that I've been really wanting to make. And with it officially being the beginning of summer and we're now right at the end of June, I feel perfect timing for both of those. So I was really excited and happy to make those videos. Okay. Today, I do have an FO to talk to you about, and a couple small updates on my works in progress, and then I feel like I have just I've been writing a list. I feel like I have a list of just random items that I want to discuss with you on today's podcast, so we're gonna just go through all of it. Before we get started on the knitting, there is one thing that I wanted to talk about at the top of the episode. For the last few weeks, really, maybe the last few months, have been noticing a lot of comments on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram, telling me that something I am wearing is flattering or maybe is not flattering, and I just need to set a boundary here. I am no longer going to be accepting comments that use the word flattering. I will be deleting them. I'm just not interested in those comments anymore. I totally understand, if, people want to say, hey, that pattern that you knit, looks really good on you. It's amazing. It has inspired me to also make the same garment. I'm good with comments like that. Those are really nice and uplifting. But when you start talking about whether a specific pattern or a type of garment is or is not flattering on a person, at least for me, it really brings me back to body image issues that I may have had growing up. You never really know where someone is at with their body image mindset and maybe what they are going through or what they have gone through in the past. And using the word flattering, I mean, really what you're saying when you use that word is oh, it makes you look skinny. It makes you look smaller than what you really are. It's no surprise, it's no secret, I typically knit garments that are a size extra large. In the knitting community, this is right at mid-size. For a large majority of garments and patterns that we knit, they go from size extra small to size 5XL, which puts the XL right in the middle, the very middle size. And even saying to me, as someone who is knitting the very middle size, that something is not flattering on me, I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. And I have specifically gotten this comment in regards to striped patterns and drop shoulder patterns. Two types of patterns that I have come on here and just raved about over the last few months. My two finished objects from my Make 9 are both striped patterns, the Farnham sweater and the Farnham tee, and they're also both drop shoulders and they're a little bit oversized. And I mean, I can't tell you the number of comments I've gotten that are telling me stripes are not flattering in general and drop shoulders are not flattering on you. And like when I put those patterns on and I look in the mirror, like I don't think about if they're flattering on me at all. I absolutely love the garments that I have knit. I put those patterns on, I look in the mirror, and the first thing I think is, oh my god, I knit this. Like, how amazing is that? I feel amazing because I'm wearing a knitted garment, and like that's all that matters. So I needed to say that. I'm setting a boundary, and I hope that if you are someone who has ever commented that on one of my videos or even on someone else's videos, that maybe we can just stop commenting on people's bodies. The nicer and like more polite thing to say in general is just, that sweater looks good. And if you don't think a sweater or a pattern looks good on someone, if they're making it, if you don't think it looks flattering on them, they probably like really don't want to hear that feedback. It's just not nice. So, okay. Thank you for listening to me. I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments now that are, you know, don't listen to those people. Everything you make looks good. I've never thought something is unflattering on you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I don't necessarily need those comments on the video. But I appreciate all of you who are here. So, okay, let's move on and let's talk about some knitting. The first thing I want to talk to you about today is my finished object that I'm wearing, and it's my tank top design. Tuck in my bra straps here so they're not showing, at least while I talk about the design. Okay, so this is my tank top design and it is officially finished. It came off the blocking boards yesterday, which was Friday, and I wore it all day yesterday, and I'm wearing it right now, obviously, so I'm probably going to be wearing it all day today. I designed this tank top to be a high neck, high back, narrow top, I don't know if there's a name for it, design inspired by my favorite tank tops that I like to wear from Old Navy. And it's knit in, I just dropped the yarn, hold on. It's knit in the Dusty Yarn Co. Luxe Silk Cashmerino base, which is a 70% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 20% silk yarn. It's 3-ply, and there's 437 yards per 100 grams. The color that I used for this is called Top Shelf, and it's like kind of like an agave color. This is from their Palm Springs collection, which is currently still available through July 7th on their website and on their Etsy. I have an affiliate link to shop if you're interested in this color specifically or in any of the other Palm Springs colors. And I will say that I had 2 skeins of this gifted to me to help promote the collection. Audrey didn't know that I was going to be using this to knit up a design, so it's almost like yarn support, but it was yarn support for helping to promote the collection versus actually me making a design. So, but this yarn is so soft, I have to say. There's like so much of a difference too between getting it in like skein form and then after washing and blocking this, you can really feel the softness of the cashmere, and it also has the like, you know when you touch like a 50-50 merino silk and it's like cool to the touch? Even though there's only 20% silk in this, I still get that feeling. So it's like cool, but also really soft with the cashmere. That's why it's called a Luxe base. It's really, really nice. But yeah, I'm so excited. The tank top is done. Let me just show you a couple more of the details. You can see it's got purl edging details on the neck and the sleeve bands. These bands were knit with a smaller needle size and folded over and sewn down. So it gives it, you know, kind of that like sporty, casual vibe, which is really what I was going for. The hem, let's see. The hem is a little bit shorter, and I did not add the purl ridge on the hem, but I think I'm going to make this one of the modifications when I knit my next sample. When this came off the blocking boards yesterday, I really wasn't sure about the purl edging, the purl row, and so I think I'm gonna make another sample without it, and then there might be a third sample that has the purl row on the bottom along with all of the other purl rows. I'm not quite sure yet, I just need to make a decision. There are a couple other things that I would like to change. In general, I wanted a little bit more negative ease out of this. Right now it has about 3.5 inches of negative ease, and I actually think I may have gone too narrow with the top portion here. I keep wanting to like stretch it out a little bit. So I think I need to add a few more stitches to this top portion to just bring it out like slightly, not too much, just like a little bit. And I think that's kind of just the nature of like the knit material, is it wants to like, you know, stay flat, stay like at a normal ease. It doesn't necessarily want to stretch, especially up top where there's no like leverage for it to like stretch around and stay at that stretched out status, I don't know, but it's basically like exactly what I wanted. I wanted a knit tank top very similar to the tank tops that I like wear all the time, and yeah, it's hitting the mark. So I'm going on a little trip next week. I'm going to be wearing this when it's like really hot outside, so I'm gonna see if it holds up in the 100+ degree heat and how I feel about it. Especially I wanted to test this material. I do want to make another one also in the Knitting for Olive cotton merino, and yeah, I think that's kind of it. This tank does have a name, but I'm only like 99% sure about the name staying the name. I'm not like 100% yet. And I'm planning for this to be released in the spring-summer season next year, 2025. So I've gotten a lot of comments. People want it to be released right now. I know. That's just kind of it. That's just kind of how it is with me sharing it. But even if I like got it all graded and like figured out now, testing needs to be at least 6 to 8 weeks, and then it wouldn't be coming out until the end of summer. And at that point, like, people are done knitting tank tops. Like, they don't want to do it anymore. The needle size is too small. They want to go back to their sweaters, and so it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm not sure when the testing call is going to come, but I will likely post about it on Instagram first, so make sure you're following me over there if you're interested. Okay, so that's it on my tank top design. Let's talk now about my poppy tee. The poppy tee is a pattern by Petite Knit. It is a t-shirt pattern, and I'm knitting this up in the Kelbourne Woolens Mojave yarn, which is a 60% cotton, 40% linen yarn, 185 yards per 50 grams, and that's 170 meters. And the colorway that I'm using is Mauve. It's this gorgeous dusty purple. And let me show you my progress. I'm still working away on the body. Here we go. Okay. Oh, it's wrinkly. It's been sitting in my bag. So the top marker, the little seashell, is where I was at the last podcast. So all of the progress between that and my second marker was what I made 2 weeks ago. And then you can tell I've made, oh, maybe like an inch or so in the last week. Progress here. I still have Oh my gosh. I still have like 50 more rows to go. Maybe I should try this on and like double check the length that it's at now. I mean, it's definitely not done. It probably is like halfway to the length I want it to be at, but oh, I feel like this one is just going really slow for me. And like, I mean, that's what's gonna happen when it's not my main focus project. Like, I spent so much time knitting this tank top, and I'll show you. I have another design on the needles that I want to get done as quickly as possible. So this one is just taking a little bit more of a back seat, but it is still there for me when I need stockinette in the round knitting. So yeah, that's why we didn't do a podcast last week, because all I had, like, I had a good chunk of knitting done on this, but it's like not much to look at. And then I was in the middle of this, so it wasn't really that much progress. But that's pretty much it on my poppy tee. I know, short and sweet. Let's talk next about my sailor beanie. I haven't shown you this on a podcast in a while, also because there hasn't been that much progress on it. But this is the sailor beanie. The pattern is by Sari Nordlund, and the yarn that I'm using for this is, there's two yarns. The first is the Hedgehog Fibres Tweedy in the colorway Lullaby. It's this purple DK weight yarn with, the Tweedy bits are recycled thread waste. So Hedgehog Fibres gets yarn scraps sent to them by people, and then they, you know, chop them all up and spin them into this yarn, and it's really cool. The second yarn that I'm using with this is a Mohair, and this is from Fuzzy Peach Fibres. This is her Mohair silk lace weight, and the colorway is called Wildberry. And so here is my hat. I've made a little bit of progress. My marker is right here. It kind of blends in. I've made about an inch of progress, and all of this was done this week, so none of this progress would have even been here last week. There was a day where I had some meetings, and this was the project that I picked up to work on. I was at a point, I think I was like ready to bind this off, and I was like, I can't do this sewn bind off while on this meeting. I just don't have the focus. So I worked on this, but it's a really like basic at this point 2x2 rib hat. You actually start at the top. It's a top down knit. You start with this circle, and then you've got, you know, these increase points going this way. So this is kind of the most difficult part of the hat, is starting it. But once you finish all of the increases, it's just a super long tube of 2x2 rib. It's going to be double folded. So I think this is really good, like travel knitting or meeting knitting. I would just say get all of your increases done first, and then you're ready to go. I think I'm going to bring this, I think I'm going to knit a second one of these when I go back to Ireland this October, because I think this will be really good travel knitting, like I said. Okay, so that is the Sailor Beanie by Sari Nordlund, and I do have one new cast on, so let me talk to you about that. So as I finished this tank top, I was very fortunate that the yarn support had arrived like a couple days earlier, and I was immediately able to cast on my new design pattern. And so what I'm designing now, I think I've talked about it, is an open gauge drop shoulder sweater, inspired by the Lento, which as you know is, or as you may know, is an open gauge raglan sweater. I have knit 2 Lentos, and it's just a really great pattern, and I have been interested in knitting another one, but I really wanted a drop shoulder version. Scoured Ravelry and like couldn't find anything that was similar to what I wanted, so I'm designing one. So okay, I'm gonna show you the yarn that I'm using for this, but I'm not going to talk very much about it because there are details that are still being worked out about all of the yarn that's going to be available when this pattern drops. But I am working with Camry from Golden Hour Knitwear for the yarn support and the colors for this sweater. So let me just show you where I'm at right now. I'm just in the middle of the back panel, so it's not like super exciting. But yeah, it is this really fun purple pink variegated colorway. I think it's gonna look really good on me. I was talking to Camry and I was like, okay, I'm a soft summer, I got all my colors, let's do something that's like berry pink purple color, and she was like, I got you. So it's gonna be really fun. So yeah, I'm really hoping to, that's it, that's basically the update. I'm really hoping to work a ton on this over the next couple of weeks, get this done as quickly as I can, and hopefully there will be a tester call coming for this sweater, for this pattern, at the end of July. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm aiming for. So again, it'll probably be posted on Instagram first in my stories if you would like to go follow me over there and stay updated with the most up-to-date information. And that is all of the knitting updates. I still have a list, like I mentioned, of some other things that I wanted to chat with you about. So please don't go anywhere. We've got more stuff to say. More stuff to say. Today, as I'm filming this, is June 29th, is the day that the Ruby and Roses Flowers Gone Wild collection goes live. Addie was not sure how long this collection is going to stay open, so I hope the day that this video goes live will be Tuesday, July 2nd. I'm hoping the collection is still open, and if it's not, I'm very, very sorry. But I just wanted to take a minute to remind you of some of the colorways that I have that Addie gifted me to help promote this collection. They're all so gorgeous. So this is Lilacs at Midnight, and the mini skein is Wisteria. This is one of my favorites. It's such a gorgeous purple variegated. This is Tulip Fields. This is such a fun, like, corally, pinky orange variegated with all the different colors. And the tonal is called Troika. This is, like, definitely a fiery red orange, almost poppy color. Love it. This is Water Lily, a lovely blue-green turquoise color. And the mini paired with this is Dandelion Wish. And then I've got In My Flower Era, which is just a really fun pink variegated. And the tonal here is called Meadow Sweet. A lovely pink purple tonal. And then I had one more set that I knit up already. This is Thorned Beauty, and the mini skein that came with this is called Snapdragon. And I knit this up into the Purl pouch by Tori. It's this really fun, basically like knit project bag. And I knit the largest size, so this is definitely big enough for like a shawl project, maybe like a t-shirt project, definitely a tank top project could fit in here. You can fit like probably 3 or 4 balls of yarn in here, so it's really nice, and it was a really fun project. So yeah, I have an affiliate link to shop this collection if you are interested in purchasing any of these colors or any of the other colors from the collection. It's a huge collection. There's 20 colorways, 10 variegated, and 10 tonals, plus there are 3 mini skein sets. One of them is like a blue-green theme, one of them is a pink theme, and then the third one is likely already sold out. The third one is called Community Garden, and when Addie first posted about the Flowers Gone Wild collection on Instagram, she asked what everyone's favorite flower was, and she took about, I think, 10 of people's favorite flowers and dyed up a mini skein set of all of those. So it's super cute. You can go see it on her Instagram. But that one was an in-stock mini set, so it likely is going to sell out on the first day. So as always, I really appreciate it if you use my link when you shop. It gives me a small commission, and it's really nice. So thank you. Okay, that's the Flowers Gone Wild collection. One more shopping update that I wanted to touch on. The Twice Sheared Sheep advent boxes are back. I really should have been promoting this for the last month or so, but I have completely forgotten to share it on the podcast. If you are interested in an advent countdown box that is not all yarn, the Twice Sheared Sheep box is a really great option. As you may know, Twice Sheared Sheep are most well known, I think, for their row counters, which you always see dangling off almost every single one of my projects. This one specifically is from their new summer collection that is now out. This is an ice cream cone. They've got a bunch of different colors of this. I had to grab the pink one because it's just so cute. Strawberry ice cream is not my favorite, but the pink was too cute to pass up. And so their advent box is full of notions and knitting tools. Sometimes there is a skein of yarn in there, but one year it was a little ball of Angora yarn, which was so soft and something so rare, something you wouldn't normally get from an indie dyer yarn update, or maybe you would pay a lot of money for at a local yarn shop. Something like that. So anyways, there are less than 300 boxes currently available, and so I've got my affiliate link in the description box down below if you are interested in grabbing one for yourself. I will be getting one this year, so I'm really excited to see what's in it. The advent boxes are also where they debut a lot of their new products for the year. Last year, inside the advent box was the Yarn to Go carousel, the tin dividers, the work until measuring tape, all of which were new products that were then later released in their winter collection, but you got them first if you had the advent box, so that's something really fun. I wanted to let you know about a couple new links that are in my description box down below. If you've never checked out the description, I always post in there the patterns and the yarn that I have talked about in today's video. And there is also a link, there is also a list to all of my affiliate links and partnership links down there if you're interested. And I have added a couple new links down there. The first one is to a Google form that you can fill out if you have any ideas for future videos that you would like to see me make. I thought this would just be really fun if there's a topic or a pattern roundup video or something that you would really like to see from me. You can write that in to the Google form. It'll send me an email with that update, and I make no promises about these videos coming soon, but it is really nice to get feedback from the community on what you're interested in, and that helps me make informed decisions on the videos that I do make in the future. There is also a link in there now to my Ravelry wish list. If you would love to support me and support the channel in that way, just wanted to let you know that that's there. Okay, that is it for the major updates for the video, and I really think that's it for everything I've got to say and to talk about. Coming up this week, it is the week of 4th of July, so I'm wishing everyone in the US a happy 4th of July. I will be in Las Vegas hanging out with my family all week, so I'm not quite sure how much knitting I will be getting done, but I'm definitely taking my drop shoulder design with me and making as much progress on that as I can. You know, of course, knitting in 100+ degree heat with Sari alpaca is probably not going to be the most comfortable. So if my hands start to get sweaty, I'm also bringing my poppy tea so that I can work with the cotton and linen blend yarn. And I guess those are like my two main projects on the needles. I might bring my sailor beanie, but I'd rather work on the other two projects anyway, so maybe not. Maybe not. And yeah, so we'll see next week how much progress I'm able to make on both of those projects. That is it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!